You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Breakfast Show. We come to you live now with Bathurst Street Studios, and we will bring this edition of the program. Mina Mabel Kaba, and on behalf of the team, we want to say we apologies because yesterday we not be able to bring the Breakfast Show to honor due to reasons and beyond we control. Well, we're there this morning, and this is another edition of the Breakfast Show on Liberty Online Television.
All right, we'll continue for watch the Liberty Breakfast Show. Me and Al-Hassan Kuma, as usual, we always can there every morning for bringing to you the very best of information. Just like today from me presenter with Mabel, we want to continue for big apology to reviewers because we not be there live yesterday. We will continue the program this morning. Today on Wednesday, April 24, and inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, we will look at the National Electoral Watch when new, then Electoral Circle Report where they out to the public, and all waiting inside this report and the recommendation, all we will bring to you inside the program this morning.
All right, and remember to yourself for the watch the program, can ask you question, make you comments in the comment section. Now the different platform them inside the watch with this morning, we did live on Facebook, Liberty Online TV, we did on YouTube, Liberty Online TV, we did on the website www.libertyonlinetv.com, and every other platform inside the gets we. And remember say we are being powered by Orange, Sierra Leone. And in the studio this morning, for we can focus on the recommendations them where the National Election New don't make inside in 2023 Electoral Circle Report with them pull na do this PNTM. For can we talk about the recommendations here we new don't pull and how we go help for reform the election business na salon. All of that we discuss na the program this morning. And I pleasure forget with we Charles Kev Kobai, we na the project manager na new. Good morning and welcome to this edition of the Breakfast Show. All right, Charles there this morning, they can tell we how near to the recommendation here and whose difference it will make in terms of having a credible election where Salon they go into elections them. But first, let we just go and listen to the report where we reporter Mohammed Kamarul, the 2023 Electoral Circle Reports Nado, who say one of the national coordinator for new when a Reverend James Lahai say for make the country go to get credible election them government for the ensure say the credible election process for starts with the housing and population census and other thing them where they don't put together inside this report. But for let we know how eventually when they pull the reports now let we join the reporter Mohammed Kamara.
National Elections Watch new. Na a coalition of over 450 national and international civil society and non-governmental organizations we start their work inside 2002. Where they work now for observe and monitor fair, credible and transparent election at Salon as way for increased public confidence where they can announce election results. This BNTM new pull the 2023 Electoral Cycle Reports na do where this report talk about waiting the fenot but the 2023 elections. Marcela Samba Sise, now the chairperson for new, explain.
In the course of our work, new came under tremendous attacks at various stages in the electoral cycle. But I want to implore us all that as we reflect, I encourage that civil society has a pivotal role to play in the history of peace, democracy, and development in our country. The journey towards fair and transparent elections, as I did mention, is not without challenges. But the goal is overcoming those challenges and obstacles that will determine the growth of a genuinely representative democracy. I call on all new member organizations to see this as a turning point to muster our collective drive towards democratic progress and a nation where we can institute the tenets of openness and safeguards for electoral integrity.
Marcela Samba Sise continue say the Electoral Commission na Salon ECSL for the displayed entire process and procedure to political parties them, international and domestic observation group na all entire centers.
When in the polling station, all those who are in the polling places, we are giving record sheets of those results. Institutions, when I say institutions, whether observer institutions as new, whether political party institutions as the case may be, they have a system to collect. They should. I can vouch for you that we have. But institutions who are interested in the elections have a system to collect all those single sheets that are given in the polling stations. In fact, in the polling station, us as National Elections Watch, we do not even receive results. Because what we know is results are public information. So in actual fact, at the end of polling, results are pasted on the wall. And we train our observers that that's public information because we are citizens, we represent the citizens. It's that public information that you pick up because it presupposes that even somebody in the community can go to that wall and pick up the information. And you're a member of the community in Lokomasama. So you go there and pick up the information as a Lokomasama citizen in that community. Or in both, you pick up the information. Now, you take that information, you send it to our situation room, and we collect. In the final analysis, the ECSL must have a system of display.
The national coordinator for new, Reverend James Lahai, inside in statement, it talks a government for the conduct credible population and housing census as way for help get credible elections na Salon.
For Sierra Leone, population and housing census data is also part of the formula to determine the allocation of seats to districts and councils, as we have in the PR district block system, or the demarcation of boundaries in terms of constituencies and wards. As a result of this connection between population and housing censuses and electoral activities, we have had problems with our censuses.
Reverend James Lahai, same way so say, SLAG and IMC for provide system as way for monitor the media for ensure fair and balanced reporting them during campaign.
Other recommendations, our colleagues, the media, we have 6 for you. Our space is threatened by how we are relating with each other. With utmost urgency, we must be seen going back to the drawing board. Senegal was going down the drain, but you saw the resolve, collective resolve, and citizenry. Senegal was redeemed. No matter what will be influencing you, it is never going to take you to that level that you want. There's every need for us to go back to the drawing board and redesign our strategy.
Reverend James Lahai say they will continue for do their work for ensure say credible elections they happen at Salone. For Liberty Online TV, Mohamed Kamara, the reports.
All right, continue for watch the Liberty Breakfast Show. Welcome to you live from Liberty Television, as we always can there for give the very best of information. Well, from the reports we reporter Mohamed Kamara just drew, we will come back now the studio for engage with guest winner Charles Kobai, where they represent the National Election Watch, where they are for country more about this particular report and the recommendations that we knew done profile. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Show again.
Good morning, my brother.
All right. So my pleasure for get you, and we will like for take you through. First, we want to start first with how una go about as an institution for get this particular reports together.
Okay. So thank you very much, and please for there, and Liberty TV don't they really take roots at the hearts of the populace. So I really glad for there and I miss this morning. New observe the electoral cycle entirely when a 5-year period, we start from 2018 to 2023. So we report, catalog all the activities and we interact with, we conducted by the ECSL, and all the governance reform processes will happen in between 2018 and 2023. And that will report try for catalog. And so, but this report, I can say, not a new document per se, because the information we did in already don't exist before now. For each time when you interact with electoral activities or governance reform processes, when they come out with press statements or position statements, for inform the public, say, we be involved, we observe, we engage, these were our findings, and then recommendation with the profile for ensure, say, whatever mistake or anomaly or challenge happen within that activity we observe, we engage the stakeholders so that it not repeat itself when we go forward. And so throughout that 5 years, that new be engaged in for the do. So we do a couple of activities with the EMBs. The laws are with them in the reform, new being get representation for make sure say we give review to the electoral reform laws then. We also engage with IMC, we do reform. We come out with the IMC Act of 2021. We also get conversation with the PPRC during their own draft stage of the law, where they pass the Political Party Act of 2022. We engage with the local government when they do the review of the Local Government Act of 2004. We make a very strong position statement. Just that it be unfortunate that most of the issues will be raised, not being looked at, and then at the end of the day, we see those challenges when the law being brought to bear in terms of implementation. But then we also go through all the by-elections, 45 by-elections we ECSL conduct from 2018 to 2022, new observe all, and we make sure say we come out with press statements for inform the public how then by-elections and they happen, and what have been the good things we come out, we mention them, what have been the challenges, what we see, we also mention. And we, afterwards, when we don't publish their statement, we engage with the ECSL for make sure say we help them together for addressing challenges that they. And so this report, like I said, not a new thing, so now more we want for zero in on the recommendations that we come up. So of all those activities, now 43 recommendations we come out with. And then 43 recommendations are targeted at 8 institutions: the government, the PPRC, the ECSL, we get the political parties, the security sector, the journalists, you get the CSO, we self will be within that ambit, and then the international community. So now there are 8 categories of groups we recommendation they target. But government get the bulk of the recommendations. Government get 13 recommendations. And out of the recommendation, we also try for zero in on priority recommendations. Why we call them priority recommendations? Because we realize we get 5 or 4 years for go to 2028 elections. But reforms and they will need for really happen now, as we talk. Because of the challenges we'll see, we all experience in the 2023 electoral cycle. And so we see, say, most of the reforms will be happen in 2022. They'll be almost too late to election. So people not being able for grasp understanding of the reforms of the law that will come out, like the PEA, the Public Elections Act 2022, the PPRC Act 2022, the Political Party Act 2022, not too much engagement will happen with the public when the law comes. And so Boko, even political parties, they do error because they're not able for get awareness raised on their document.
We can look at the recommendations and the can yourself don't say when I make specific recommendation for specific AMBs and every other person will not involved inside this report. But let me just look back. Talking about recommendations, we all know not to the first time this when you don't observe elections, pull reports at the end of the day, and make series of recommendations. How serious the election management bodies here don't they take the recommendations them way on a bit on the pull? Let we come on now before we go for the can step by step into this new recommendation then previous years.
So you're correct in your point. However, we want to appreciate the AMBs, especially in this cycle we've done.
Okay.
Compared to other cycles and we don't deal with recommendations don't come up. I can recall like post 2007 recommendations, post 2012 recommendations. Much of evolution not take place in terms of reforms. But in 2018, post 2018 recommendations, even though we're not able to address all, but great or giant steps be taken by EMBs for make sure say they bring those reforms. The only challenge though, when I am in the top women they come in, now the fact that those reforms they keep them to the tail end of the 2023 elections before we begin to see those laws coming out. So whilst we appreciate them for the strides they take for do those reforms, but again it's significant for let reforms happen earlier in the electoral cycle. So every player, every stakeholder, and all citizens will be able to understand the laws and where they guide them for take them into the elections. Because you're not going to go into an election blindly. You don't understand what are the laws, what it stands for, how you self for behave and interact with the process, you don't know. So we want for appeal at this time, I make in 2018, by 2020 we don't catalog all the reforms and ways supposed to happen, the recommendations. We put them into one document, we create a tracker, we follow through institutions, because then there will be 18 institutions all the recommendations be directed to whether na Carter Center make recommendation, na AU, na ECOWAS, na NEW, all would make recommendations, all be boiled on to 111, and then when they tell one down, they go to 106, and then put it into 6 thematic groups. And so we been do tracker for C institutions where they work towards implementing it. Some will do great effort, just that it been very late at the time when the reforms they happen.
Viewers and self know say right now the tripartite committee, one of the assignments gets for do again with the same electoral reforms, and nationally we go send a broader picture than the way government they use for do the electoral reform ahead of the next election where get for be in 2028. But this on a report on a title building on an electoral reform agenda. This title, how it come about?
Great. So the report, I could say, it could not have come at a better time than this. We already get a national process when you just mentioned about when the tripartite committee don't set up between the APC and the SLPP, and we get to development partners when they watch over that process there. And also, even though at the starting point there the struggle for really get civil society presence, but a couple of meetings where they don't hold now this Bienten, then they invite civil society actors and media for go observe and be part of the process, which is a good way to go. And why we choose this topic or theme, now the fact that reforms now in the agenda where the tripartite committee is supposed to look at. And so we want for let them recommendation inform whatever engagements the tripartite committee do for lead towards reform. And these are guiding principles. EU don't pull in your recommendation, Carter Center don't pull in you, NEW don't come out with you. And yesterday I've been doing 50-50 the own launch. They said don't come out with the recommendations. So at the end of the day, as NEW we can always do, we get to fuse all the recommendations from the various observer groups, put them into one document, and we'll make a representation to the tripartite committee for help them for look back. Why is that they do their own brainstorming? Let them be also informed by some of their recommendations will come up by all players and actors who observe the elections. So that then we're able to give you credible, substantial, and effective reform for the 2028 elections.
All right. Well, if you just tune in, remember say they watch Liberty Online Television, and this edition of the Breakfast Show, we look at the recommendation them where the National Election Watch NEW pull inside in 2023 Electoral Circle Reports. Also, we can talk about the different institutions them, AMBs them, where NEW cover inside this particular report where they make specific recommendation for towards building on an electoral reform agenda in Sierra Leone. Remember, say you self when you watch the program, can send me a message to the number 074 200 545 or drop your message in the comment section. Now the different platform them also they watch with this morning. When they come back shortly and can look at the recommendation them.
Na Sylvanus Blake, and me na the Public Relations Officer, na the Anti-Corruption Commission Sierra Leone. I want to encourage you all for the follow Liberty TV online. Before you did any like you through WhatsApp audio versions of people where you not see and know, why you not go watch online live and see who that they talk, and then you can know say, oh now this person say this. And here I believe whatever you see is the truth, and that the truth will set this nation free. I love this place and I always want to be here.
Badnya Fantasy is here, and I didn't also today na Liberty Online TV. It's a brand new TV, and they are doing extremely well. And I know me, anything that is run by like women and everything, I'm in for it, I'm supporting it. So make sure you follow Liberty Online TV on all social media platforms. So if Fantasy TV is here, I'm here, so you should be here too.
Hello viewers, me na Manti Suma Mara, the CEO of Suma Design and Empowerment Initiative. This na Liberty Online TV. I want to tell you for say this now one of the best TV online TV in a salon, where the young professional woman then come together and for can give me this platform here. No sit down, continue for the watch Liberty TV every day.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Watch Breakfast Show na Liberty Online Television. And like I told you earlier today, na the program where they discuss the recommendations them where the National Election Watch new poll nado for second in 2023 Electoral Circle Report. We dey focus on the recommendations them because as soon as I don't hear it from Charles, initially we reports them can come out if not come out on time, especially we get for do with electoral reform agenda, you not go able for no waiting the day. So because they want for let the stakeholders and know waiting the inside this recommendation ahead of perhaps the next election, make with the focus on the recommendation them so that you self within our host go able for know waiting at the recommendation then when you make ahead of any other election we Salon go get. And we get Charles Kev Cobain at the studio, project manager and new. Now we can't talk about the recommendations them proper like if they don't state earlier then pull plenty recommendation them. And the recommendation them then categorize them so that everybody go get a own issue for address ahead of every other elections. And among them categories, and they then get specific one them for government, then get specific one for ECSL, then get specific one for PPRC, then get for the security sector, then get for the media, then get for then the CSO themselves, where na EMBs them where they all under per election business. So now we come over to you again, Charles. But let me just start with the recommendation we get for do with government because plenty people, whenever you hear recommendations and come out, we know say the focus is on government because overall now then they in charge for ensure say whatever thing for happen, whatever change they happen, if you not get that backing from the central government, it's impossible. So let we start from them. The recommendation them when you make inside on our reports, waiting at the specific areas them where on our want for the government's address.
Thank you very much. So for government, we make 13 recommendations to government where we're able for agenda reform before 2028 elections. And then out of them 13, we also subdivide that into two categories. We get what we call other recommendations and then we get priority recommendations. So for government, we get 3 priority recommendations. One for the protection of we are saying we, the media, civil society, and all groups who they observe election in a salon. We don't get law where they protect you. We get law where give you rights at the constitution for observe election. But no law no day where they give rights to the protection. And so we all don't notice during elections then they might handle journalists, then they might handle civil society observers where they go observe. And so then things are not good. And we for no say United Nations they don't declare election observers as human rights defenders. And therefore they need protection. So one for the government domestic in that law. So one of the reform we targeted, the recommendation we target government at that. Parliament should enact a law that specifically calls for the protection of citizen observers during the entire electoral process. But then, not only for go pass a law, we say all national election observation groups should be part of the national conversation to prepare the election observations protection bill. You the bad man in here for Sidon, you the baba. And so we want to make sure say whatever reform they happen around the protection of election observers, when are local observers and even international observers we can let people be involved with the process get for target so that they will able to make the new suggestions as we draft that bill.
So which kind of protection we or on the profile say government will give to some of them people that we mentioned during elections?
So when they look at every form of protection in terms of the physical protection, the work we do, the materials we use for the protected, we get experiences in 2022 and 2021 when they attack we observers and will take phone at the hand, take the forms away, they take the checklist there, the check and all of these things were perpetrated by no less a person but police officers already deployed. And so all these things we need a law for addressing. When you come out to make press release, we write specifically to the IG for complaint and request for the retrieval and return of their phones and take it out and they talk to you. We'll never get there. But if law day, we go rely on that law for go court and sue whatever institution perpetrates that kind of violence and get we time at the court. So but as it is, you don't get any law we go rely on except you look at the general laws at the line where they deal with violence or destruction of property, personal property. So but we want for zero in, forget protection of observers, just as how every other person would need protection when they go interface with election. So the second partner, government in consultation with political parties, civil society and the ECSL should take a definitive position on the type of electoral system to be used for future elections. The aim is to identify an electoral system that is inclusive and considers the multi-party nature of democracy and citizens' participation requirement in electing their representatives. This, we dey say, Salon currently get two systems of election. We get first past the post, and then we get the district block proportional representation system. And we dey confuse, we electorate them every time we dey deal with them processes here. Why some man don't use to the first past the post, and then a new system come in, it dey fair and hard for adjust. We see all that confusion in 2023 elections. And so for there, and the strange partner, it get for surround one day authority when at the presidency. It go grab one day, determine almost say, okay, 2028 election, that this electoral system I want let ECSL use, just in consultation with the chairman of the Electoral Commission, then go change with system. And we don't want for the get then kind of bad. Every time you come back to this, by the convenience of the leadership at the helm of the authority that same day, they will say we'll go to this election. So let them give the opportunity to Sierra Leoneans for choose which system best suits we as citizens, where we think say this will able give we the democratic right for really interact with the process, for choose we kind leader who want for choose who go represent we, not to people go choose for we, like party can choose if Chokana would say, Paupana, this kind of person I want, we want to have a say. But in having this say, let them turn back to the citizens, not only civil society, we also want to forget traditional leaders. We want to forget women's participation in this. We want to forget disabled, the people, persons with disability, they say in this. We want to forget the youth, for come out the students, because students and they, we don't 18 years, we go for participating in an election. So we want all these shades of opinion of the society for sit down at a national conversation, law will determine which election best suit we. You see, we get all the propaganda will be happening in 2022, going to 2023 elections, how this system will be the best system, but we don't see the downside of INSEP. So now people don't get a taste of the first past the post, they don't get a taste of the district block proportional system. If you now put that to a conversation, people will be able to determine really by themselves what's really good for we as a country for go forward.
On I don't observe then two systems of elections that the country. As an institution, we don't watch plenty of elections across Sierra Leone. Waiting on observe which one on profile, which one of is more better for the people of Sierra Leone.
To be honest, we don't want for beat the gun now. We want for allow let the conversation start. New will come with your own position, giving comparative analysis between the two systems we will observe. We will give the advantages, we will experience of each of them, and then we lay them bare to public also, so that we help them in that conversation for make constructive decision at the end of the day. But so far, we the true and back say we want a reform around choosing one system. Having two systems in the law, it really gets burden and disadvantage to the public. Now we all decide, let the constitution make one system. If now first pass the post the constitution, they take, let it take her. If now district block system, the constitution they take, let it take her, it expunge the other one come on. We now know say, now this one system citizens they want. And it will work for we go get ample time for do electoral education on that system so people best understand them before any election go start. Another one, we say in consultation and collaboration with political parties, CSOs, international development partners, the government should conduct a credible population and housing census in 2025 and publish the benchmarks and guidelines for the census to correct the anomalies of previous censuses. You and I know 2015 SRPP contest against the census result will come out, and in 2021 APC self kick against the midterm census, population census, Paku Pundit been raised a lot of query. Even we raised our own query about the midterm census. And so, you see population of a place just overnight, it grow. Another population, you see, it shrink by 40%. But not in the way warrant, population, not like any other. Even plants, not they just grow so. We put an as soil, they take days before it germinates and before it sprouts out. Now in a population, something away from move a population into a place. Either there is an economic boom where don't happen, or there is a war, a conflict where don't happen, where they drive people away from a particular place. We go shrink that population to a level. So we need for let people really understand when that census result been common, when you interrogator and we do all analysis of censuses of election registration population, we were on track because population not they shift so more rapidly. There should be giving factors. Those factors were not there. Yet we still see one side soil, this other one dwindle. And so we are saying.
So is it that the political parties and they use this as yardstick for elections?
Exactly.
Based on this.
You're very correct. And the census not for just be for an election. Election are just one small aspect of census. But it like say we political authorities, especially this APC and SNPP, then don't they use that too much for election? Census now for development projection. For example, now the population of Freetown high turn so government not go ever able cater for Freetown in real population. Because the census, the meter census say Freetown in population don't dwindle by 40%. So whatever development they do for Freetown, it not go reach to the actual population when have been that 1.5 million we been there in Freetown. No, now 600,000, 9 days. And even water now, you see they even suffer for water immensely because they don't misrepresent the population of Freetown to government. So if government will go give something for 1 million people where population census the tell government say na 600,000. So you see the key thing, I mean people need for be professionals. Institutions really need for remain professional, for do the right thing, so that they guide government for do the right thing. Because
you mentioned the two political parties that don't use this census as something, as a yardstick for election purpose. You feel that these recommendations we you don't offer, you feel that the government will adhere to it. Because in Sierra Leone it's practical, somebody will say this man don't do this, maybe I will do this. So how best you feel say government go adhere to some of their recommendations, more especially when it comes to census before election?
Why is that not the reality where they exist? But we also trust, say, government go able for sit down. We all reason together because now that government, na papa for we all. And so we for able as picking them, na us for sit down and tell papa say, hey, papa, this thing what you been do, it don't affect you all. If you all they go na treat now self, will not able to come on fine. So it will reach a point government will understand with we all. As long as in a genuine conversation, we go put the cash together, the 2015 census, we go put that together, we go bring the 2021 midterm census, we go put the 2017 voter register, we go bring the 2022 voter register, because all of them data then they inform really whether them two censuses here be correct or not.
All right, Charles Kev covered. Continue for David Twin at the studio. We'll come back to you shortly. And the project manager for New Day this morning, we will talk about the recommendations them with them pull inside the National Election Watch 2023 Electoral Circle Report. We did now to the public with the focus on the recommendation them. And as we continue the discussion, a pleasure for welcome with other studio guests. We now Thomas Babadi, Executive Director of Sierra Leone Youth Network. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Good morning to me, Bill.
All right, we got Babadi at the studio this morning as we look at this report because INSEF, an organization, don't they put multiple issues that we got to do with national development, be electoral governance, generally they don't contribute to the sector then they so that INSEF go add invoice as this report don't come out because we all know say where recommendation can come out. Not so all the recommendation here at times people can take serious, so man adjust the moment where the media they look at them then they focus on them. So we want to let INSEF add invoice so that we go look at the importance of the content of the recommendation here and how it will help for reform Salon electoral system. As we talk to Charles, it don't begin for highlight some of the recommendations them where they inside the report. But as a civil society organization, we know say una self recommendation and we will go for come to run shortly. But firstly, where you don't see new design reports, the recommendation them where they don't make. Let we go back, like I be asked Charles, how serious institutions and don't they take recommendation them where don't they come out from institution like NEC? From news, sorry.
Yes. Thank you very much. I'm excited that Liberty TV, I think the only television we will call people after months of election. We're all going to forget. They don't sleep over everything, but still they call. It means you're consistent. Please keep it up and keep doing so. I think it's important to note that after every other elections, recommendations will come from local observers and international observers. That is a norm. And however, Parliament over the years don't take such recommendations into cognizance. That's I know for sure. But not all they take, no. Not all they implement, no. So what we see in the recent times is you don't come up with this report, then 21st report, 22nd report, 21st report, 21st report. That means 21 years. You don't observe elections and they look over. And about 21 years ago, was I still in university? You know? So it's quite interesting. That means they get wealth of experience. And whatever it's factored into that particular report means is the prima facie evidence with the, well, I have my phone. Oh, I was supplied phones. Why should you take my phones from me? So then you don't need law that the police will produce the phones then. Or else buy the phones in the back. But what will happen? The information in the phone, very, very important. Why you will take the phone and the person in your hand? Doing what? You know, I look at what's everything that happened again else. You look at the census conducted. For me, before this last census, I look at figures emanating from 84 to 2004 to 2016. Juxtapose these figures with the current figures they wouldn't get. I know there are challenges with this census. It was highly political. It was, I mean, the atmosphere was toxic. The opposition, they said this, they said that, you know. Well, that's part of the politics we're talking about. But this was too toxic. And so people refuse. The incumbents have taken advantage of that and push. It's not good at all. Therefore, don't sit down and let them get a proper understanding of themselves. And let's go forward now. This is about development. We go for inside hospital, go for this. We go for inside other schools that will be built or constructed. How for improving the schools there so? Because the population don't move. Now, yeah. We go for inside clinic for the PHUs. We go for identify inside field for the creation of facilities. Now that's the consensus for. And it's not for only elections. We go for really, and then of course you come again a system where ECSL not up till now I don't understand how you function. PR system. If you see my piece that I did, the fairy tale of proportional representation. And I had to challenge a big lawyer in this country. You're a lawyer, I mean accountant, and figures are for crack mathematics. But he's a lawyer with more than 34 years. But I told him that, this thing is not correct for us as a country.
But it's something that we go to Parliament and then able to make an agreement for use the PR system for the elections.
No, there was no agreement in Parliament to do that. It is a precedent that we revoke section, I think which section or whatever. Dr. Abad going to make it very clear. Well, outgoing speaker now, make it very, very clear. See, we go discuss all things about this Public Election Act. I was there in the well. But the proportional representation, no discussion around it.
So what you make up of the recommendation where they make regarding that particular system the way they talk about? So you say government in consultation with political parties, civil society and ECSL should take a definite position on the type of electoral system to be used for future elections. They said the aim now for identify an electoral system that is inclusive, then consider the multi-party nature of democracy and citizens' participation requirements in electing their representatives. You think say this recommendation when new they make go address the challenge we've been there for the 2023 elections?
Kudos to you. Kudos to you. We hope and pray that the donors continue for funding in abundance. Now, you see that catch there. You see how they couch the statement. Political party, parliament, PPRC, whatever stakeholders responsible for that particular PR or first past the post. What is PR system? It is the thing, I mean, it also disturbs we, especially Western areas. So, okay, they reduce them from 20 seats to 16 seats. Chizakaba left 17 seats for Western area urban. And Escoma only added 3 after 3 years. After 10 years, 20 seats. Now, as if coming again after 3 years, populated region in the country, and the capital, Freetown, like Lagos in Nigeria, 22 million people. Ordinary resident in Lagos. The rest you get 18, 20, 19. Now, look at PR system. How we don't disturb representation in parliament. Now, Doazak, in England, Usabi State, coming to smaller town, not get no representation in parliament. Coming down now to Wilberforce, they don't have representation in parliament. Come over here. Now, one person, they are the cover for 3 constituencies. Then, Honorable one is the Honorable Pastor Adam also. This place now, so he call Bay no get rep. But in the other areas now, 3 constituencies empty. Go up to how you call this place? Not Smaller Town. Going by this new highway,
Regent.
This new highway, this, the hillside bypass.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they do not get no representation in parliament. And so you see the problem. Before this time, we used to have representatives in parliament. So we can engage them. You can invite them to meetings. You can talk to them, like in dialogue. But now one person go up to this.
The reason why I
not get any relevance.
The reason why I ask this recommendation, if it go address that challenge there, we all know new as an institution, don't like they for years, don't they pull recommendation. But even after the 2023 elections, we see the challenges where as an institution, they go through, especially when they pull in preliminary reports, based on waiting, then see, compared to waiting, come out from other parts them. We see the controversies them we've been there and how some people begin watch new with some kind and all of that. If in the midst of them kind of issues, then how serious government for take new recommendation? Because from the election 2023, it clear say waiting government they say they're not going to support new based on new putting their foot down say waiting and see nine in the talk. You think so they will take new reports serious for implement their recommendation?
Well, I think by popular request, a government when they list in government should listen to new. 2018, we know how they brand new. National Election Watch, we know how they brand new. I was all over the place. AYV, SLBC, Star TV, also Democracy Radio. Now they look at new. How they look at new now? It tells you they're independent in their approach. So, by popular request, government should and must listen to new and take the recommendation into cognizance. Now, look at what did happen now. We are now constrained. Light, not enough. Water, a problem in the Western area. Very serious problem. People use J cans for water because we are like 600,000 now or 700,000. We are not 1.5 again. We're not even grow. In terms of population, that's the assumption. So if news coming out with this, I think in the aid government, for them to understand which they happen, which they go. For example, that recommendation, it is telling you that after the elections, these are the challenges. Now, people and they don't get parliamentary representatives. They don't even get councillors. Australia, Urban, which I know of. The complaints are coming every other week. Who's this councillor? Who's a councillor now? Who's a... Like that, they ask series of questions. Because in the PI system, they go put your name, first, or if you name the second, or if you name 16th, you are off. Now, coming to this recommendation, we need the proffer. I think it's my popular request. And the members of parliament should ensure they capture them into the books. Now, you no get reason for go meet government. Like meet PIC, fine. But I can take them to parliament and ensure they engage the parliamentary committee and engage them thoroughly. We can go. They say this is important, this is relevant, this is not relevant. We are not lawmakers, we are not lawyers, but we are civil society. We look at things from an independent point of view. Like parliament. Parliament, not the lawyers there, but they make law. They enact laws. And so, I mean, that's the most important thing we need to do. If we want to push Sierra Leone forward, one for Congo forward, this morning we the left for Cam, my phone off, laptop off, phone off, everything. Now, and I'm before thinking now, how many million Sierra Leoneans in the world? How many of it ordinary residents also? 8 million or 7.9 million.
That's a discussion for another day.
Small country.
Thomas Babadi, continue for the within at the studio. Let me just bring Charles come in again. Let we focus on, because we're not going to cover everything with the inside the recommendation them. Let me look at the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, ECSL. We know say bulk of the issues them for this 2023 elections, people be the point finger to the ECSL saying that they're not able to manage the whole situation. We make plenty of people be skeptical about the kind of results when they announced. But what's the recommendation the MONA gets for ECSL?
So for ECSL, we get 7 key recommendations, and we also categorize it under 2 subheading. Priority recommendations are 4, and then other recommendations are 3. So for the priority recommendation, one of them we say ECSL for ensure voter registration is made continuous and public to protect and promote the right to vote. So ECSL always wait 1 year, sometimes 6 months to election. They can't even do 2022. Then conduct voter registration. And about which time sometimes some man not even they in country or some man sick, enable availing self where registration they happen. By the time registration in the recover, registration not done. Or by the time they return a country, registration not done. So even though it will be qualified by age, but because you not register, so it excluded from the system. You're not going to vote. So when, as a country, for be progressive looking now, we want, as other jurisdictions they do, now they get continuous registration. Continuous registration means say, ECSL in system go open, in offices go open, in every district, where citizens go able to walk in and say, I don't 18 years, I want to register. Or I'm above 18, I don't ever register yet, I want to register. Without waiting for a permanent day where registration, then go declare, say, registrations don't open for 2 weeks when I go register. Honestly, we don't disenfranchise a lot of people because it meet people so busy. It takes you a lot of time in the last registration for even go to the working class for raise the awareness. Because people they go work, some might not get time for left in job for go register. Because when you go for registration, a queue it go there. So by the time they don't have that queue, it get work where they don't left pine in the office, you don't get that time for go there. They are disenfranchised. Not that they don't want to be part of the process, but the risk involved in leaving your job for go register at that long time. But even a continuous registration, the issue of queuing not going to arise. So tell you can't today now, you want to go even Ghana office, you meet ECSL, they register you. Just go through all the normal protocols for verify you, say you're not citizens, you know, 18 years, and they register you. So we want that for the happen, and it will be made public, so that the public will know, say, in Western area, in this month, now 1,000 people can register. then publish them. Then I won. And so the second one we say, ECSL to fully display their tally processes and procedures to political parties, international and domestic observation groups in all their tally centers. We see 2023, like how maybe I just laid the preamble, it been get a lot of issues. Tally center and everything been go wrong. Because nobody know the able to see what's in the input and what's in the happen. We now say, let them review procedures where then we're able to open up the tallying centers for let observers see, party agents are able to see how that process they happen. The third one now, the ECSL for create a publicly available digital version of the voter register and make provisions for citizens to request amendments to their personal details with relevant supporting documents. We want the voter register for be a digital document with D. It will be prepared in a way nobody not able to hack and change anything. So, for example, if your marital status don't change as a woman, you want that for be captured in that detail, you can call ECSL now. They can interrogate you and provide the relevant document there for verify, say yes. Now that may be Kabatrade, now I don't tell maybe Johnson. So we want for change that information, and then you can effect that change with all the bio features of maybe Kaba, we don't talk maybe Johnson. Or me work today, I say, I don't even want me Kefko by name anymore. For obvious reason, I want for up to another name. Be in mind, say, all of these things when they happen, they happen in vacuum. You ain't get lost them. In the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, you get rights for change your name. You get right for choose a name.
The voter registration slip or book it's not a sacred document. Now you decide for mention.
Yeah, for now not a public document. It's for me a public document. ECSL can only release it when they want to go do display of names and they can go to center. Okay. And so we want for let it be a public document and for really able. A lot of people they do research. But research is so hindered because availability of data na challenge. And when you don't get data available to you, your research can be skewed. Skewed. And so we want, if I want to know how many people register in the western area, urban, and in the southeast for the month of April, I for able to go to that public document and do my analysis. I go able to disaggregate them of this 1,000 we register in the southeast, 10% na woman there. And the remaining 90% are man there. But of them man there, you get 5% to the disabled man there. And of them man there, you get 35% when are first time registered voters. Now 18 years. So you can able to do all of those analysis. We go help you by the time results then come out after election. Because they get for published back, then data then they by disaggregation. You can able do your analysis and say, okay, of those people will be registered, of this percentage, now this percentage go into the election for go vote. Then you go now know why the bulk of that percentage not being go vote. Is it that people not be reach out to them for do voter education? Now that are the use of them data I will they talk about. So that we have for correct challenges where people will face in electoral processes, we help for address and for following elections we will meet. So now that's make we say this document will be made public and people for able to interact with. Another one we say the PPLC, the ECSL for review the provisions of the Public Elections Act 2022 for include clear provisions around the collation process, transmission of results, and publication of certified polling station results. This will allow for the projection of collation figures inputted at the tally center with a corresponding accessible online version. These provisions must be brought in tandem with the provisions of the Constitution. So we say, ECSL for amend the PA because now ECSL be the stand-on. The law not provide for let we publish then disaggregated polling station results. And now citizens get that process. They want for no. We see a lot of people be put in information request to ECSL. If you want prominent lawyer in this country, he do one. Yet they turn and down say, no, with the law not permit we for doing. So now we are saying, you are working for the people. We will amend this law, take them back in the parliament, let parliament include this portion, that therefore publish the results, the polling station disaggregated results, polling station by polling station, if for the public and people for able to foresee them. Like other, but we see our country in Liberia, we say we civilized past Liberia. The election is so transparent. I don't observe there as international observer for 4 months, as long-term observer. That as they count the results in this place where you see them come, then tally in the district, then at district level tally and get. We say non tally the input are electronics, they don't go to the server at the head office. And as the result they go, they get giant screen and junctions there where the Electoral Commission puts. As in the input and the tally and the input, you see results in the street. You don't even need for more crowd na electoral center. You see this person is leading at this district, this person is leading at this region, this person is so in result time. So it's so easy for track down the result tabulation. So if any error happen, now that make we will be the follow Liberia election. Truth. Then do wrong inputting, then do inputting but then wrong announcement by the CC. The public, the journalists and CSO now they'll pick up quick. By the time they draw attention to it, they say this thing is made public. And I say, oh, no, be mistake. Na me misread. He go back and retract that announcement you make. Because the facts were there. Publicly, you see and say, na the tally this, na this you get. Come on, na this you get. Maybe na this you get. Yeah, Thomas, na this na you mark from social region. So
like since we still talk about the ECSL recommendations,
yeah.
I don't know if the recommendation capture something we have to do with the voters' ID, because we always see a lot of challenge when they when people be concerned about the voters' ID card.
Yeah, so the voter ID will not capture any specific, because we don't do specific recommendation before now we engage the ECSL on. But then until we go follow up a day within the engagement, as we don't launch this, we don't start pre-EMB engagement. And so we'll follow up now that we don't launch. Before we launch, we start that pre-engagement. And we'll get for engage them now as stakeholders for encourage them on their reform year. And most of these things will be addressed. And if we get a continuous registration, that issue of gather all the things then together, because now also they lead to those challenges. So today they print out your ink London, and you make something so dark, but if a few quantum always you produce, it will cover with the quality. And the information of the person also will be captured. When you get thousands of people where they deal with, error always they happen, where they clean data. So it's good for ECSL, it's good for we as citizens if we get continuous registration. We know they pile the data. As it they happen by batches, you are dealing with 100 or 200 batches in a particular district, you print it. You call them for can't take the ID card. So you go get the quality of information you need on her, you go get the quality of the face. Some of we been get, we face is so dark, you're not able to recognize her. Me say, take me time so I go collect me ID for fame, me ID, even where they say the jumper, because the face dark.
So from their major recommendation for the ECSL, the civil society space, now one way we all know say, they're overcrowded. Every day and night now you get new civil society will go show up, but everybody get your intention why they open civil society, and the civil society space supposed for they for advocates on behalf of the citizens, because not to everybody one for be seen that limelight day. But from the recommendation them, waiting on they say to the civil society organizations, we supposed for represent the population.
Thank you so very much, maybe the way you bring this. You know, we like for work and watch we safe. It make a whole lot of sense if you talk to people. They say, Bible say, before you tell your brother for pull the plank na your eye, pull the log na your eye first. And so we safe as civil society will get an introspective look at we safe. Maybe so correct that the landscape, you know, they restrict anybody for Kaisai, but it don't polarize towards regional ethnicism and political line.
Yeah.
And civil society, you not a mouthpiece for government. Not to say for me. You know, I'm glad the way my brother Thomas erased that aspect of new. And me and two don't carry a very long way hold on the work together in this space. When APC then empower them, will accuse you saying na SLPP. Where SPP kind of power, they say new na APC. You know why? Now because we know the mix matter. So when we target issues, the government of the day thinks, oh no, now that other past, now they do. But when you become so clear as civil society, you then at TV, they promote government agenda, you can partner with government, but you are not a mouthpiece. Let government do a mouthpiece work. Civil society now for advocates for people. And so you choose for then at this space, not because of yourself, now for the vulnerable. We're not able to get that term in the mind for advocates for themselves, now it make you then at that space. So the legitimacy which we get, now for the people. And so if you did it, you're able to represent the interests of the people who give you the legitimacy, you ought not to be there. So we say, for we own recommendations, civil society leaders must take immediate action to abort the polarization of the civic space along political party lines. Abort means pull up belly the way because not a good belly than they pull up. Civil society leaders who for what you said now, that will behavior who put in 2023, who they attack yourself. People that they sit on at TV, when I go arrest them, when I lock them, now treason they don't commit. Not to civil society in Roland, they let government plan. You in fact now if you jump to the defense of your company civil society, where government want muzzle. That should be our role. We see how media, when they go after one person, how the leadership of Sludge, it come out very strong. No, we will not take this. Now intimidation against we own person. They attack the president back for that same press release they make, supporting Lamana. And so attack on one should be an attack on all. We for resist those things. But because we are polarized, some of we get ethnic lens where they look at things. Some of we get political lens where they take for them at the space. So we always not do the right thing.
If you look at, say, there's a division in the aspects of the civil society activism.
Then they're so clear. It's so clear. But that should not be our role. We're not a politicians. The day you choose for go to politics, leave the civil society space and go to politics. When you retire to politics, you will come back. We will receive you. Provided you will behave fine when you go into politics. People that never don't go as politicians, they don't come back. They left the civil society to go take their life. I don't want to name the names, but big people they will be the admired in society. When they left parliament, they come back to civil society. If they be left with bad name when they go into government, they not before even get the courage for come back. So the second partner, New recommends greater community engagement and civic advocacy from CSOs and institutions, such as the ECSL, to educate citizens on voter registration process. Now, that's how for they do CSO, educate the people, raise their awareness, but little on much not be done in 2023. And so people went into that election without understanding the process. I mean, void vote become boku, although ECSL in your own data shows say void vote not be boku. But that's a topic for another day. But then we see, say, people were not well informed with the process. And today, we are struggling. My brother very much eloquently put that. We don't even know we MP. Me now this constituency are come home, but I don't even know that they represent we in this district. So, we should have had education and civic awareness for say, okay, for this district, we're not Freetown, because Freetown are one district now, as far as the PR is concerned. Then 16 members where they go parliament, now they now parliamentarians. We don't know them.
Charles, may I just bring Babadi in this discussion we get for do with the civil society space. Babadi, what are you take? Is it that now government they muzzle the civil society space, or now people intentionally for their own selfish needs they try for selling out?
Thank you very much. Now people laying for those selfish needs. It is not government. Government no will ever influence me. I don't care which political party influence for go talk in their favor or say something, we all reverse the law, or even go do something or say something on air with the public not pleased with. Yes, the public get different perception. You get color, you get religion, some man believing in religion, you know, it's fine. But you as civil society, waiting at your work, now for come out and educate the people. This is the law. Now so the law say these are the issue, these are the issues, or these are the issue, put them straight forward to people and say that so it's a leg. But unfortunately, we have our colleagues nowadays where they can fall for anything. They're not even get identity. These days, somebody bring out reports. You see the reports, so skewed. Somebody is such, so skewed. Where to be challenged, you know, just for please one color. Yeah, we see them now they happen. Yeah, before this time. I mean, for me, I think so one party seems like you are respecting my life, despite the government appointment. That's age don't go or whatever. It's well, I'm not calling him. They don't leave him now. But that's a very good civil society. When you see him, a talk upright straight. When we come into activism 2000, the early 2000, you see the gentleman, you see him, this now mainstream civil society. He took government, he's relieved, you know it again. I don't know what he do now. But he really impressed me at that embryonic stage of civil society. But for senior guys now, it's very, very difficult. I don't know why. What's the problem? People are coming in. Somebody they come with me. Mr. Babadi, I have master's degree. I want to go for law, but I want to become civil society. Like you. Fine. Come for training. Civil society for dinner training come. You should be trained. Now that make you fancy all these kind of things they happen. And the space, I mean those who are coming in now, credibility not there. You know, it's nobility. When I say civil society, you're a noble person. They see you as a mouthpiece or like a priest, a clergy, where you talk, your words are very strong. But somebody come on air now, you see what's the what wish. For me, I think say one set of people they admired is new. 2018, how they see new was dangerous.
So, but if the bad one then boku pass the good one then, how una ready for receive una space?
Yeah, well, I think well, there's a space. The space nobody no control over them. You see, one gentleman overseas would just make a duty talk. Say in activist. This so you don't control over them. But however, we were there. We don't go through some form of education. You know, we want for the talk to ourselves, and this is an engagement, public engagement now. Now be careful. We have when you get election, even village election, world election, even them attack-based election, you must get somebody elect. But that don't mean say you forgot suffocate the other side for you not get access to what you forget. Allow the space open like what you need is talking now. Electoral processes or elections in general should be transparent. Some man they go for go vote. You don't register. You get him voter ID card. Where you go now, you don't see his name at the voter list. How can you vote? So it is not transparent. Like 2012, I put together a proposal where we win from NCS Christian Aid on the elections. You know, I call them PIPE, P-I-P-E, promoting inclusive and peaceful election. That PIPE is not the pass. Where you see me for Rusty, a block, what can they come at all? So clean up the pipes. Then the water pass to. Then you forgot water for drink, water for what, for launder or whatever.
Before elections, una can come together as CSOs for able for discuss on our plans them we want to achieve during the elections, especially the CSOs within Asylum.
Before elections, I mean, people can get different perception about each other, you know, which is natural. You're like the bar station. They'll call them, they respect themselves when they reach it at the court. But outside they get their own different. I mean, it's just natural of every other person. But before elections, we hardly meet so. We can meet, but it's difficult to meet. For example, waiting prompt meeting of civil societies that August 8th. They begin to stop. So we all get for unanimous this way. Not we go meet. We fund we serve. We buy food for we serve. All man body, rent the hall for ourselves. So we say, not meet, not discuss. Waiting at the gaps. I mean, people are very, very, very open and say, we need to talk the truth. We need to say the real thing people have for Yeri. Now we start for saying things people have for see and Yeri. Now we say them clearly. But that is it. Once we say them, people are comfortable. So you know what we need to do now, we only talk the truth. People in the overseas, they will just send audio. When they get the audio, they need a village. That's around 2002 years. Then they get and say, okay, you feel comfortable. But we now so they refuse, or at times they afraid, at times scared, at times they run away from saying the truth. It's just natural. I agree. Yeah, what's it happen now? The human violations on people. Look at what happened from small. Look at what happened to some of our colleagues. You know, when they come up now for this kind of thing, they will arrest you, they will intimidate you, they will send text. But this thing, be part of free now. You should must be part of us now. And so some of them face a lot. But at the end of the day, they're steady, they calm down. Now when they say yes, that's true with talk. But if you continue for compromise, they're not give you $500 or $1,000, you can't just blast. Who are you? You know they teach, you know they go lecture, you don't go involve yourself into research, or to have to do something or write for newspaper, let them give you money. That's the whole, I mean, like that, it's not done. So one for advice them, those who are involved into that, please, you see inside the space, those space way cheap, those space way, I mean, for illiterate, not use that word. So we're illiterate, we're for educate and illiterate. That's the space of civil society.
All right, Thomas, we come back to you shortly. I know say Charles not go on for left this today, not talk about the media, because we all know the role the media can play, especially then during elections and every other normal day. It will be the last point we'll go look at, and later I go get for tell the viewers them if they want forget this report, waiting them for do. But just address the media based on the recommendation them way you make.
Okay. So quickly before I go to the media, I just want a last bite on that civil society. I really very much appreciate my brother on that aspect. Not your government inquires on the make people to behave so, not just selfish aggrandizement they carry people to that level. Maybe I'm 30 years this as an activist in this country. I don't be activist from the days of military dictatorship in this country. But today, nobody never buy me. I don't belong to a political party. Every election, they choose different party and vote. Because I know I'm a conscience for being swayed by a party ideology. Throughout, from 1996, where they vote in this country, they vote different political parties based on what you offer their platform. That's how I vote. Because I don't want, as an activist, forget myself into any party ideology. Now, I make when I critique you without any malice, I critique you on the facts and the issues. But people come to this space for can make money. For me, I'd rather get integrity than for make money I lost respect. When you see me, you're not able for even look me in my face or me say not able for watch you. So civil society, will they say that hate speech where people promote in 2023, let it tap up. You not for promote peace, you not agent of peace, not hate. That violence where civil society promoted and tap out. We get a lot of civil society people they go make hate speech against particular ethnic groups in this country, which was wrong. So I go now to the media. The media, they, of course, that will party them now all they work. So we want also, as we address your issues, we speak to them genuinely. We say IMC for develop a code for political advertising in publicly funded media houses. Especially the media houses when our government they fund them, when our public funded. We say IMC for regulate them. The media adverts where then they do, it forgets regulation. And even for private, I can go back to Liberia. Liberia, when then they get election, community radio, private TV, or public, you know, then get regulation. You know they allow one great candidate every day in a station. If you encourage other candidates for can you get an airtime and not give peak time to candidate B, then you not give peak time to candidate A for another day. No, then get regulations. So we say IMC for come out with then kind of regulation so that no one person or one political party not dominates the airwaves throughout the campaign time. Women they not being a space that the media for projects their new aspiration. So we want regulation for cover that. IMC to work with SLAD and other media houses to develop a code for digital and social media to regulate the digital space effectively. Of course, this is one space will be polarized, the digital space. The new age media, we be see how that they self be corrupt. So we say regulations for they will not say let them clamp down on people, but regulate so that standards for they and people able to do the professional work. IMC and the media fraternity to provide constant training for traditional media and new media to reduce the pollution of the digital space. We need training. Training, you not to thing where you go say they don't train me today. Every time life things will happen anew. So we need for the train we serve. SLAG and IMC should provide a system of monitoring for media houses to ensure fair, equal, and balanced reporting of political party campaign activities. We say let IMC get a system. I remember saying in 2012 they make out that kind of gadget. But time don't beat them, that gadget they are not thinking say they operate again. So while they invest by IMC, forget that monitoring system, therefore able to know when campaign time day, which radio station do what, how many candidates you allow. Now one party no more they all come on from, therefore able for bring them back to book if that's what they do. The SLBC should publish its airtime allocation schedule for all political parties so that every political party go know say this Wednesday na me party na ain't supposed for send candidates for the day. That the media should ensure gender sensitive programming and awareness raising and provide space to women who aspire to be candidates or are already elected members. So they say media for work for promote gender sensitive news outreach and get candidates and when a woman them and woman the way they don't elect na council and parliament when I go they call them let them can tell we how far they work. Sometimes that go give you confidence. One day we see say we need for even make woman president because them man don't disappoint you too much. But until now they showcase what in the woman the way they don't elect they do, it go hard for the public believe say women are up to it and they can deliver. So but when you give them the space, they come in and tell the public what they don't do so far, where in a parliament, where in a council, it will give a lot of confidence to people for elect more women in 2028.
So the one way they watch, we go and forget the full contents of the reports and that of the recommendations. And so how do they get them? They now the new website and the new Facebook. So if you go to a new Facebook, you go able to see the report, the link the day, you go able to get a full report. Now 72-page report. Or 74 page report. We get everything about what new been do from 2018 to 2023. Like we all know, we have been pull out preliminary reports after the elections. A lot of controversies been there, and we know what's been spark up at that time. So with this kind of reports, we on a pull building on an electoral reform agenda. Why the EMBs, the main government, we wanna address certain recommendations to for taking recommendations here serious? So you see, when teeth and tongue jam, there were two not the common at the mouth. They still stay there because the teeth get for chew the food and the tongue get for aid the teeth for tongue that food with saliva for able for masticator. So now so we turn in this space. We'll tell you hard truths today. You go vex so, but when you go tell you pillars say go tell you say no, but then people then they correct in waiting and do. Malice not doing what we they do. We now facts them we they present. So now make even we will pull the result, this report, we don't go back to the same EMB. Although some no give we the kind attention you to require, but no, so we'll get there. We'll get there. And we believe in collaboration. Now make we sign MOU with the very Electoral Commission. And we sign MOU with NCRA. We are working with them. And so we go overcome whatever bottleneck been done be created in 2023. Now I make we so deliberate with this theme. We want to build on the electoral reform agenda where they exist now. There's a national discourse, there's a national conversation where they stem from the tripartite meeting. So by the time tripartite then go done with all their recommendations, they will get to the public. Public will get for buying into those things. Now I make we want to inform them with whatever recommendations that come up from all the observer groups and table them to them so that we all go work. Now we all get this country. Salo not to one man you. Then we run after election, but to come back. Now we country this. We cannot stay out. Me, the war being in this country, I never go run away, sit on another man country. Pass I go get conference for agitate for peace in this country and come back in Sierra Leone. This is our nation. Yeah, so we all need for work together
for build Sierra Leone. And then we need for be civil, we need for be peaceful, and be collaborative with one another for ensure, say, Mama Salone benefit from all of this. If Salone better, then me you too don't better.
All right, many thanks to you, Charles Kefkobai, project manager and new week and this morning at the studio for Council. We waiting inside this one building on an electoral reform agenda. We na the new 2023 Electoral Circle Reports. We wanna been pulling and like it don't tell you you want know the full details of waiting inside the reports and the recommendation you for go na the new websites. And as to the wrap up this edition of the Breakfast Show, they come over to Thomas Babadi, Executive Director for Forum of Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone Youth Network, waiting go be your pathing words as to the one them way new address recommendations to why them for taken serious.
On electoral reform agenda, very, very important. We hope we reform electoral processes. Thankfully, the digital community don't go money for reform electoral processes. So we call on the persons responsible, those who are responsible for this. A is NEC, B, PPIC, and then of course you get to Parliament now. You get to be at the back, new taking the lead in elections, and then of course we following them. Now we hopeful that these recommendations, government take into consideration, we want for confront government, we want for disturb them and distract them from the agenda. But on elections, we think say there should be serious reforms. You know, waiting to pass the Parliament or waiting we do this, not good enough for we as a country and as a person. So we are asking that these things we need to put together, so let it take them into very serious consideration, yeah, for next election. If not first past supposed to be used, law will use them. If the PI system will disturb we now, it will be. When I go through 2002, 2007, 2012, 18, 23, what did we stop me? Law will discuss and look at the nitty-gritty of the NTSO. Now, so we advise, please, not for distract government, not for disturb at all, because we can take up on ourselves. Like this one, we can call press conferences, we can call symposiums, we can call, we can talk to the police every week. No one has to the state of freedom.
Right.
We put it 30,000 man match. But we don't want to do that at all. We want to go peacefully to the parliamentary committee on legislation. Then they capture them here, so they elect. So we do them simple, peacefully. We sit down. But I mean, we don't want for disturb government and the government get a lot of things they will do, especially on the economy.
Right.
So I think the reforms are important. They're necessary, integral part of every other country, democracy and elections. How do we elect? We choose you. Who represent you? We sit down with. Also, we all have to go into politics. Some of us, maybe God know, immediately they see, no go play ball. You go play ball and they beat you. When you come play ball, you don't spark, you don't score. When they put you for canal, so you're fine. Beat you, beat. Footballer, the president, minister. Listen to that. He himself knew that when I was not going to be a politician, I was going to be this kind of person.
Right.
Yeah, so please do that. But the politicians should take this into serious conversations and ensure they affect them, especially Parliament, the Parliamentary Committee on Legislation. Ensure, see, what you don't do, we are all behind you in this.
All right.
All behind you in this, please. Yeah.
Many thanks for you joining at the studio this morning. Thomas Babadi, I name Executive Director, Forum of Sierra Leone Youth Network, and also we've been getting at the studio with me this morning, Charles Kefkobai, we are Project Manager for National Election Watch. Instead of being at the studio this morning, they tell me about the recommendations them where they inside their reports where they just pull. Now this edition of the Breakfast Show, go left for now. Plenty thank you to the production team and yourself. We don't follow me throughout this broadcast of the Breakfast Show. Continue for follow, like, and share Liberty Online Television. Tell somebody about we so instead go tell more people so that the family will continue for grow. Until we meet again in another edition, Mina Mabel Kabade say goodbye.
And Mina Al Hassan Kuma, have a safe, pleasant day. Bye bye.